coffee before starting this, actually. In hindsight. Hindsight 2020. Yeah. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the pre-show. I'm your host, Dust, me, Dust, and in the call, Dust, we've got some people, including, but not limited to, Circuit is still dead, so he's not in yet. He'll be back eventually. He's slowly being resurrected. We are pumping his body full of that sweet, sweet, wait, you do not pump a body full of, okay, I forgot the word for it. Embalming fluid. You don't do that to people when you're trying to bring them back to life. I don't think.
No,
they're 90% water. Give them water.
Yep. Cole, why is there this green liquid here? It says, well, it will either raise the dead or it'll turn them invisible. I don't know which.
Ah, yes. In the call, we got some people, including but not limited to, Crazy Matt Captain.
I exist this week.
Rainy. Rainy?
Is there a storm here? Because I got my umbrella.
Speaking of umbrellas, there's Toa Koi.
I'm a loudmouth at the moment.
And Tech Stallion. This is like the most on time we've been for pre-show in a long time. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot, because, heck,
Yep, someone left.
I haven't even gotten the announcements out yet, because yeah.
Well, we can pause briefly. We can like chill.
Oh, and DM just arrived.
DM21 and Rainy both.
I realized headphones don't do audio, and mic was not plugged in while I'm in the other room mopping.
Oh, okay. Got you. And DM21.
Yeah.
We are in our second month of Pride Month. Hey, shouts out to all my fellow queers out there. You're wonderful. Love you.
Cole, are we really in the second month of Pride? Because it's still June.
Did I say second month? I meant second week. I am so dumb.
I'm sorry, it's a year-long Pride, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I better
Yeah,
be.
It goes.
Could we? Please? We
We
need
can
Well,
help.
we try, but June is the most visible because that's when the straights say that we're allowed to have it. And even then, they say it begrudgingly.
Well, to them, I say I'm going to put in a curve. Anyways,
Wait, we're grading on the curve?
yes. It's a banked curve. There's a bit of a slope to help you kind of stay lined as you're going around. Yes.
Table line.
I believe they call it super elevation. I don't know. Who am I kidding? I don't know anything
I
about
wish
right
I
ways.
could draw in a stable line, partridge farm versus when I could.
You know, I, at one point, some years ago, picked up a book at a book stall that was just a information guide of all the standards for building a railway right-of-way. State of the art as of, like, the 1920s. And, you know, I would say I should read it, but honestly, it seems more like a reference guide. So,
It won't have interesting stories, it will just have the specs.
it is all spec. All spec, all the time. I think this particular reprint was published in the 40s, but all the information is from the 20s.
Well, that's a cue to give horse in the content creation.
Good old 100 years worth of information.
Well, I don't know about 100 years. Well, I guess it could be 100 years worth of information, considering that that's about... It was published in the 1940s, and...
but it's information from the 1920s.
Information from the 20s, from a lot of trial and error starting at about, early to mid 1800s. I'm not really sure whereabouts they got their start on. Like, I know that this book was published by a engineer, engineer. What's the word I'm looking for? Civil engineer from the Pennsylvania Railroad. And I'm not sure how... I don't really know whereabouts they started when it came to the Pennsylvania Railroad and their right-of-way construction. I need to look more into PRR. Honestly, just need to look more into railroads outside of New England. But there are a lot of railroads. And no, I'm not starting with Kansas. Anyways,
Kansas is only like 2 or 3 roads, if that.
But is that today or through always?
I think it's always been that way, mainly because of the Atchison, Topeka, and San Francisco, which became the Burlington into San Francisco.
Hold on. Looking up.
How many different companies had lines through Kansas or had parts of lines in Kansas?
Now I was just going to look up, so in the... Oh gosh, what was the name of that government website? The Library of Congress, there is a... There's a map of the United States with all of the railway lines, telegraph lines, and all that stuff in certain years. So let me see what I can find and if it includes Kansas. That is a map of the New England states. This is the US and Canada.
Is it just the hard lines, or would it also have the Pony Express mail lines?
One of the maps I found did include the Pony Express. I don't remember what year it was.
By the time most Pony Express would have been in Kansas was an established place, and it would have had railroads going through, at the very least, coming out of Mizzou into Topeka, into Lawrence, Manhattan, down to Wichita, and going down. Or at the very least going out west because of the cattle drives that were common and early on, thanks to, again, the accent, Topeka, and Santa Fe.
Hi, Circuit. Hey, Suki.
Cole started by saying, we will not touch on Kansas trades, and then I reverse psychology him into looking up Kansas trades.
Actually, right now I'm just trying to find the map that I was talking about that had all the telegraph lines and such.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is the one.
1, 2, 3, 4. Together we short did this song. 1, 2. Well,
yes it is. Okay, now where the hell is Kansas? I don't actually
in the middle of everything.
South of
It literally is in the middle of everything.
So
In the middle of nowhere at the same time.
west.
Yep.
Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz, from Kansas.
Is it- West of Missouri.
Yes. Yeah. South of Nebraska, north of Oklahoma, east of Colorado.
Okay, it's not on this map. It wasn't a state yet.
And I'm south of Tokoi.
Yep. CMC and I went through Tex area to get to HarmonyCon, which, honestly, looking back on it, that was relatively cheap, all things considered.
In
Which
hindsight,
highway did you take up there?
I should probably be looking at a map that isn't from 1850. That was a little bit early, a little bit fresh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Toa, which highway did you take in Oklahoma?
We did the XL 10 Pike at 35.
Okay, I'm not in that area. I'm actually near. I'm actually in the Tulsa area.
Yeah, we might have seen you on the map, but we didn't go through Tulsa.
I just know that I hate the highways there. Who makes highways that are supposed to flood first?
Oh, have you heard of the Tulsa Stonehenge?
Texas does. Texas does. 1, 2. Oh, it's gone.
I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Highways that flood first feels like a very Innsbruck thing.
Yes, but you just get up to speed and then, oh shit, that's a huge puddle.
Yep, that's Texas.
That sounds
Well,
like
yeah,
a great
I
idea.
mean,
You don't even know the half. of
Yeah,
it.
I mean, it's they're basically fulfilling the desires of all children. You know, when you have a big fast car and you're seeing a big puddle and you
To
want to
flood
make a
out
big
an
splash.
engine?
You just want to make a big
Yeah.
splash. You don't care if it floods your engine. You just want to see
No,
that
but-
water. You want to see that water go above your window. That's what you want to do.
Okay, but second, here's the thing. We were
I'm messing
underneath
around
an
and nobody should be
overpass.
taking me seriously.
We were underneath an overpass that was flooding down below. And even when we got to several overpasses, it was still flooding up there.
Oh god, I'm not going to upgrade to 11. Leave me alone, you freaking vultures.
I don't have to deal with that. I got it. It's
Yeah,
the
they
trash.
keep on. I saw one of those pop up today on my computer. It's like, this computer can't even handle it.
No, it's the weirdest thing is that I mean, I'm sure this computer could handle it, but for some reason the system thinks that it can't. But it doesn't stop it from prompting to upgrade, but prompting that Windows 10 is reaching end of life soon. It's like, gotta do something before it reaches end of life. I am gonna do something. I'm gonna sit on my butt and just deal with it.
Yeah, that was my computer last year. And
I'm waiting until either 11 gets out of their collective shovelware crapses, or we get Windows 12 where they go back to stop doing the shit that they did, like they've done every other generation.
Mhm.
That's right. I remember.
Let's just all threaten to go to Linux.
I'm already debating that already too. The only reason I don't just not jumping on board outright is I'm pretty sure I got applications that are Windows based only, so I would have to probably split the difference.
That's what
If I
virtual
get-
machines are for.
Yeah, I know.
If I get my PC Tower Wi-Fi thing replaced, I might think about turning that into Linux, but I don't know if anything else is gonna go on it.
Yeah, I'm just being a gripeyson. Call me the gripe minister of Gripetown of Gripena. I don't know.
And I will
Yeah.
say, it is
Gripe
a
nuts.
treat to
I ate a big old bowl of gripe nuts.
it is always a treat to see someone who's very much city have to be like, there's nothing out here. Where's everything? And just be like, this is what happens with expansion.
I
beyond city.
tend to think my area is relatively small town, even though we're like an extra couple of. We're not a suburb of Detroit. We're a beyond that, but still, it feels like there's not much here.
I used to be a small town like you.
Yo,
and I took a
Kansas,
development
there's
in
nothing
the
there.
Yep.
I
You
used
can
to live
see
in a small town.
Horizon Line.
Yep. If you're not in the major cities of Kansas, you're kind of just seeing the world as God intended. Unfortunately,
I
there's still
only
power
want to
lines.
see Horizon Line when I go to the far extremes of the states and be looking out over the water. It was actually weird going to a cousin's wedding because it was in Norfolk, and going over a little, I don't know what it was, but it was a little driving overpass right on top of the water. It was a scary kind of thing, but you can just turn and look out and there's
There's
Horizon.
ocean.
Yeah, there's Horizon on the ocean.
And then you had a motor thing going, all right, Kansas is not that bad compared to this.
With
Grass is
Horizon
greener, always
Navigation.
greener on the other side.
Well,
Drive for me, baby.
then Dad and I had the discussion of, wait, what actually is the drop-off point where if you can see to fullest extension, is that 5 miles? Is that 3 miles?
Is it
Where
9
is
miles and
Horizon
an
Line?
island?
No, what is Horizon Line from your line of sight, if you can see all the way to Horizon Line?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
No, it's somewhere around like 3 or 5 miles. I'm not sure what. Without Google.
Oh, the horizon line is mostly used for perspective.
Does anybody here ever? Who am I kidding? Somebody. There's people here who desperately tried to finish coloring something in a rush.
2.9 miles.
Okay, so just short of the 3.
If you remember, Circuit, like way back when I was doing like monthly like title screens for the Brony Show, like years ago,
those
I
are
would like
really-
submit them partly done, and then each week it would have a little bit more to it.
You know what? That would actually be a fun thing to do once at some time. No,
Will we ever fix Twilight's hair?
No.
No, I mean,
Okay.
could you imagine like for a week, every title screen would be just a little bit more updated? It would still be the same thing, but just a little bit more.
That could be fun.
Yeah, right.
This one's a sketch. This one only has 2 hard lines. This
Well,
one
maybe
has
not
an
quite-
actual
maybe-
interesting doodle in the corner that's going to disappear in 5 weeks.
Not quite that. I mean, good concept, but I'm thinking like you have one pony just standing there looking like they're interacting with something. Next week you see another pony there, but you don't know what they're interacting with. The next week after that, you suddenly see a punch bowl, but there's something else that indicates something else is there, and it's just like becomes a big old full scene as little by little as you go. You just get one element out of a time on it.
That's an interesting advent calendar. I like this idea.
See?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Although I don't want to do anything too rough on Creature, mainly because of time. But also,
I think we would give Creature the time off on that if we did something like that, just because, unless he wanted to do it himself. But yeah, no, that would be unfair. I wouldn't push that on him. I mean, it's my dumbass idea to begin with.
Yeah, someone would be more appreciative if they were let in a few weeks ahead of time of something like that.
No, I mean, well, yeah, but I mean, it would be more like, yeah, Creature, we're going to be doing this for a couple of months, so you can take it easy on the title cards, unless you want to get involved. Just.
also, I learned something over the past week.
Oh?
Apparently, the proton pack that I got that's a little bit more dinged up in like actual design, they're releasing a clean version of it, and I'm like, do I want to buy another one because I like it? And then I have a way of doing a cosplay with more than just myself. Yes, it's related to
Those
also...
things are full backpacks unto themselves.
Yes, they are, and it's fun. Because, CMC, you remember the first time we did HarmonyCon, how I brought that down?
Oh, so that explains what happened to HarmonyCon.
Well,
How dare you bring it down?
Well, unfortunately, I had to bust a ghost at the last thing as we cleared up. So, yeah, the Sheridan's no longer there. We don't talk about the Sheridan.
There was just a piano ghost. Nothing has gone wrong.
Well, the elevators kind of were off, but then again, there was only one set, so...
You know what? You could have been funny. You could have had a funnier time with that. Like, it's a weird ghost, man. This ghost was a gorilla. It said something about knowing the secret of Epstein something. I don't know what that was about. Zapped him.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a friendly gorilla of some sort. I don't know what that was all about.
Unfortunately, I didn't have a trap or
Yeah, this girl said glasses. It said that it wrote Ghostbusters 3 and it was trying to give up the script before it got called to heaven. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, I'm having momentary thoughts on that because that's $300, and I'm like, no, worse ways to spend $300.
Like buying a
Nah, it's just a ghost that calls itself Olmec.
figure of an anime waifu.
Yeah, he said something about a hidden temple. Unfortunately, we didn't get more out of him.
Are you sure he wasn't talking about the legend of that hidden temple?
No, I'm pretty sure he was just asking about. I think he needed some sort of I think he needed religion because he kept talking about a shrine with needing a silver monkey.
Oh, he started wearing a fez.
Well, fezzes are cool.
Okay, we're just going way off the rails here.
Hey, just because I bring up a Doctor Who joke in this does not mean it's off the rails.
I started the joke. You just guys jumped onto it, which I'm appreciative of. Thank you.
Oh, he hitched a ride on it.
Yeah.
We're going to take you for a ride.
Okay, now you've just killed it.
I'm
Barney
sorry.
Boys, is that the Brony Show? Jokes, training. Yes,
Every time it came up, I just have that song forever stuck in my head.
Cool. Get it out.
Too bad Charlie doesn't have the bad jokes in short supply.
Oh, I always have bad jokes. It just depends on if people want to groan at them or not.
Anyway. Ugh.
So what are we doodling, Cole?
I have no idea. I'm like in the background on another screen. I'm just going through the MLP fandom wiki, just like looking at various characters and just trying to think of something because I actually don't have any ideas tonight.
Well, if you want, there are the prompts for the artist training ground for today.
Oh, what's that?
Okay, one of them. Well, you technically have two different prompts. You have a pony running at either chasing time or running away from something.
Okay.
I think those were the two prompts for Equestrian. Blue Sky. Oh, hold on, give me a second. Sorry, I am literally trying to draw at the same time too, and I got mine like a triple prompt triple prompt caper here. I'm basically doing everything all at once, and it is hurting my brain. Okay, where are we?
That could be fun though.
It could be. Okay, draw a pony watching time fly by, or draw a pony stuck in the past. There's also the current Brony Show prompts of ghost busting and also rain.
The third week of rain.
The third week of rain.
Yes.
And I know I can't remember if Equestria Daily has one for today or if that is tomorrow's. I swear they have one today, and that's why I'm kind of pushing myself on this one. But I'm gonna see if I can double check.
Hold on, I'm checking the.
Yeah, prompt newbie artist training ground prompt 5. Draw a pony sprinting or draw a pony running for their lives.
Oh, where's that one?
That's Equestria Daily.
Okay.
So you got sprinting or running for their lives. You got chasing time. I guess. Jeez. Sprinting, running out of time. Watching time fly by, stuck in the past. And also ghost busting and rain. You really want to try to fit in all 6 of those prompts in at once, knock yourself out.
No, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I got 3 in one image here that I'm working on right now. And I forgot to post the other image, which had 2 in 1, because there was no way I was going to be able to fit 4 in 1 without it looking ridiculous. Rain. And another thing I can suggest, maybe drawing a horse that isn't a pony. Like the wild manes. Just to, throw something completely random out there.
A horse that isn't a horse? What?
A horse that isn't Generation 4 MLP. Do it
Of
like
course,
an
of
earlier,
course.
do an earlier generation, do a different franchise.
I am slowly getting back into drawing. I do
Of
not need to
course.
challenge myself that badly.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
I'm just throwing what I got. I'm throwing what I got out there for you. So feel free to launch yourself however you want. While we're talking, so Next Fest has popped up now.
I don't know what that is.
It's basically where Steam advertises a bunch of upcoming games from a lot of indie creators, as well as some of the more mainstream studios.
It's basically a time where you can do free demos of.
Well, they showcase a lot of demos of different game genres and stuff. There's a lot that you can run into, like hundreds of games. If you think about it, it's wild.
Yeah, we're in that time frame where E3 used to be, so there's been a bunch of game announcements things.
Yeah,
And I know that if you want to see indie, Day of the Devs is usually the thing you want to watch.
Yeah, that's another good one too.
So I did
But yeah.
see what was brain.
But yeah, I think they released a demo for that Ninja Gaiden game that they teased last week during the Sony conference. Looks really, it really tickles my nostalgia bone.
Whoa.
Yeah,
Whoa.
they're kind of going. They're leaning towards the old school Ninja Gaiden, and even had some of the composers of the original Ninja Gaiden come back and do some rehashes of some of their more iconic songs.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's still its own new thing, but yeah, they're doing a nice little homage to the past Ninja Gaiden, not the Xbox one, which is still good, but it's nice to see the acknowledgement of the older one. Especially since the last thing we've seen anything about that is like an emulated version of it that you can get off of Ninja Gaiden Black.
What is...
Oh, I honestly think it's a good time to be a video game enjoyer because it's that time of year.
It depends on how you approach it, but yeah, I mean, if you make the most of it, it's definitely a good time to see what's coming up. Maybe get excited for a few things. There are some things that I'm definitely that got my eyebrows raised, like the Final Fantasy Tactics remake that we've been basically clamoring for the longest time, finally getting announced, and yeah, they did a good job with it too. At least so
Doesn't
far.
to be called Chuckles in another server.
I'm no Chuckles the Clown Pony.
See, the biggest game for me that I'm waiting for is State of Decay 3.
Ooh.
Oh, that's fair.
Ooh.
I love 2, and I haven't played a lot of 1, but it was pretty enjoyable. But, so excited for number 3, because the continuous updates on 2 and keeping it in check with new things. Yeah, they added some things at the very end, but it was still really nice.
That does sound awesome.
People are also looking at the next Borderlands and going, okay, well, it'll be better than 3.
I'm
Well,
not
I
doing
mean,
that one with a
currently-
10-foot pole.
Currently,
he just
they're
reminded
just
me of
being
the
upset at them.
Randy situation when he said the real fans would pay $80 for the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Surprise
that
was the thing I
outburst.
watched.
Yeah, that I'm not touching that one. Maybe it will be, but after 3, I'm just
Yeah, especially Tiny Tina's Adventure.
Oh, the fact that there was a D&D based Borderlands, not that bad, but
It
writing
went
was
so much
probably not
harder
that
from what
good.
I've heard.
actually I think the writing was one of the better things. The gameplay just had problems.
From the chat, has anyone played that Oblivion remaster? I saw a streamer playing it.
It's on my list.
I
And-
want to play it. My only concern is I want to try to update my graphics card first, or else I feel like I'm not gonna have a good time with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't know if I'm gonna be
it just
getting it or
updated
not.
its graphics. It didn't update any of its systems, right?
Yeah, no.
I
In
heard
fact, they
updated
wanted to
one
keep it.
aspect of the leveling up. I
They
heard
wanted
that.
to keep it. They wanted to keep it traditional. So all they did was plug the entire engine into a new graphical overlay. That's it.
I know
They
Suki
did fix a few
playing
bugs.
it.
They fixed a few of the bugs and exploits, but they did not change the core gameplay in any way.
Well, that's good.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Again,
it's
I
as
know
janky as
Suki's
you
been
remember
playing
it.
it, but he hasn't played it beforehand.
It's as janky as you remember it in every way, for
I
good or
recently
ill.
started to revisit Fallout New Vegas.
In fact, it's funny because a lot of the mods and stuff that they developed for the original Oblivion work on this new one too.
Yeah, it's on the same backbone.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's why it's funny because that's how dedicated they were to making sure it stayed within the traditional bounds. If the mods,
beat
if
them.
the original mods still work, that kind of gives you all the evidence.
Can't beat them, hire them.
Well, they have been doing that for a lot of stuff, but also it's one of those things of now people are recreating the old Oblivion clips in the new engine. Since predictably it should go the same way every time.
What year was Oblivion out?
Wait, the original Oblivion?
Yeah.
I think
That
around
might have been
2006, 2007.
Yeah, I was thinking 05, 06 actually, because wasn't it? Yeah, it was like either in or just out the launch window of the 360, wasn't it?
It
Well,
was
just trying
just
to
it was around the launch window because I remember the 360. I think they had an Xbox version, but the 360 also had Oblivion.
2006 for Windows 360 and PlayStation 3.
I
I'm trying to
remembered
think
because I
what
had the
meme
PS3
mods
version.
came out back then for that.
Well, it was the start of the meme mods.
Yeah, but it's definitely before Thomas the Tank Engine getting put on everything.
No, I don't think there was a ton of meme mods. I think that's when the modding scene really started to explode in Oblivion, but in Elder Scrolls and basically anything Bethesda, really. There wasn't a huge mod scene, but that's when people started to see how exploitable it was, and then after that, it just started to get crazier and crazier with each iteration.
Yeah, I'm thinking the biggest meme mods for things started hitting around 08.
Bethesda shot themselves in the foot by meddling with the mod.
They
with the
yeah,
mods
they
in Fallout 4
yeah.
and 76.
76.
Basically, I
Sorry.
will say this: Skyrim was basically the peak for Bethesda modding. I'm sorry, but no, you hit the goddamn peak when you have Macho Man Randy Savage dragons.
No, I agree with you. It was 4 had some really interesting mods, but no, Skyrim had such a crazy modding scene that I haven't seen anything duplicated since. And considering how weird Bethesda has been with modding as well, there's no good footholds for it either.
The most memorable one is someone turning a giant dragon to Thomas the Tank Engine.
They've done so many weird things with that freaking dragon.
Yeah, God, I'm sorry. It's just for me. It's just nothing beats just watching, just like seeing that title of the video, and be like, what? And then it's playing the opening, and then you're just seeing them talking to you at like about to execute you, and you just hear in the background, oh yeah. It's just
The cream rise to the top.
Yeah, no, Skyrim it had the perfect everything, the perfect hype, the perfect flow. and yeah, the modding scene just ate that up. But who knows? Maybe with the Oblivion remaster, once people really start sinking their teeth into it, we might get some interesting mods out of that too.
As far as I can tell, it seems like it's mostly the same engine. It's just it's mostly the same framework done in the engine, but it's just made in a whole new graphical engine is pretty much all it is.
Yep.
Because as far as I can tell, I mean, well, I don't know if it's not the exact same, but dear Lord, there's definitely some NPC graphical issues that go on even still in the remaster. Like there's you still get a ton of the what is it like the guards coming out of the walls.
Oh, you have violated the law.
Stop! You have violated physics, you freak.
No, I will never forget this as long as I shall exist. Someone got away with some cheese, and in the middle of magma, a god came up and said, "Stop right there, criminal scum." God died, and someone pointed out afterwards, "Yeah, you melted the cheese because you were in lava." It's crazy, man.
Right. But yeah, since it's on the same framework though, and Oblivion really has hit really hard with the shadow drop, I think there's a good chance that the modding scene is going to come back for a resurgence on that, since they don't have to relearn a whole engine to mod the crap out of it.
Yeah, same engine, just new coated paint.
Exactly. Granted, I think graphical mods might be a bit of a problem, but a lot of I don't know. We'll see what happens with it.
The most impressive modding that took place was with Fallout 4 with Fallout New London, or what's it? What was it called? London.
Yeah, the most impressive mod is the fact that Fallout London is a thing that you can do.
Oh, Fallout London, yeah.
Because
Skyrim has some wild mods, but I gotta give it to the Fallout people. They come out with some of the more in-depth mods that I've seen.
Well, here's the thing. There's also people trying to recreate 3 and New Vegas in Fallout 4's engine. Hell, they're trying to recreate Fallout 1.
I would love to see Fallout 1 and 2 recreated in those engines. Mostly because I don't know how it would be done properly. I'm not saying that they can't do it. It's just it's definitely going to be a heck of a goal.
If even Todd Howard would allow him to.
No, they don't.
They don't care what he thinks. Todd Howard thinks he should pay for everything in triple.
Yeah.
Well, also, here's the other thing. They poach people from the mod developers to work on new games because they're like.
That is true.
You can't beat them, hire them.
Well, in some cases, yes. A lot of companies, if they see somebody that can make some really good mods, they either hire them on to help with the games, or sometimes they'll even support their mods just because they think it's a really cool thing that they're doing.
And sometimes there's the devs with vindictive intentions where, oh, now you're part of the team, now you cannot work anymore on any of your mods. They are stuck in whatever state they are left in because now you work for the company.
Yeah, that's stupid crap. It's just like, wow, you've made some great mods. Let's hire you on. Okay, now you can't do the cool thing that we liked. It's like you guys just wow. Talk about pissing on the cornflakes. Well, what can you do? Good game, bad RPG. Yeah, you know what? Absolutely. Good game, bad RPG. I would absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, it was a good game, but I was really disappointed in the lack of RPG elements in 4.
You just didn't have a lot of them. You didn't have. I mean, you had some agency, but it. I mean, with Fallout 3, you had a literal giant selection menu. Depending on what skills you put in and everything, you could do some really interesting answers. Fallout 4, you had 4 answers, and that was it, if that.
Yeah,
it's boring.
and that is the issue with.
And that kills at least Western RPGs, Eastern RPG, JRPGs, things like that. That one that's a little more understandable, but that's the way they flow. But yeah, nah.
Well, heck, even Monster Hunter has been getting into, like, you may have a character and you may pick out a voice, but they still say things as a story character, not how you would say it.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's
still an RPG.
I'm today years old
I'm just not sure how to
learning.
respond.
I'm today years old learning what Junebug's cutie mark is, which is apparently leaves. I did not know this.
Huh.
Just leave us alone. I feel bad.
Oh, and I was going to make a similar joke.
But yeah,
with
it's
how the
it's one of
story
those
parts.
things.
With how the story parts of the later Fallouts were, it's like was it 1 or 2 where if you had a low end character, you had a different conversation with the village idiot, and that kind of thing never happens anywhere else in the series.
You kind of have that in New Vegas, but that's because same devs as Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's something of why aren't there these more options depending upon what you are actually spec'd into?
Yeah, what kind of build do you have? That would.
Why are we stuck down this storyline with? Okay, there are 3 different branches, but they are all still railroads.
Yeah. How do you want to save the city? No, I don't want to save the city. I want to rule it. I want to destroy it. I want to put a bunch of rad roaches in it. I just, give me a choice. Let me have an option here. Nope, you got to save it.
Well, you either save it or you leave the bomb active.
Yeah, once I went to New Vegas, it was hard to. I found it hard to get back into Fallout 3 because New Vegas had built upon so many of the systems that were in Fallout 3 when I first played on 360.
More Preston Garvey, less choice.
Yeah, that's kind of.
The Institute was an underwhelming villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was such a weird villain. Yeah.
Like the idea, not a bad idea. The execution, the fuck we doing here?
Actually, I think the weirder thing about Fallout is it keeps going back in time.
No.
1 and 2 were the only ones that were like way out in the future. 3 was earlier than 1 and 2. 4 was earlier than 3, and 76 is even earlier than that. I'm not exactly sure where.
70, yeah, because 76 is like
76 is the best one in the timeline
because it's right within the first 100 years after the bombs dropped, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's
we go to Fallout 1. Then we go to
funny
Fallout
we
2.
keep going. It's just funny we keep going further and further back.
Happens 10 years after
I know what you
Fallout
mean.
2.
Also, I heard that they retconned a few things in 76, but I can't remember what.
Okay, I went to the Fallout fan wiki. Okay, chronological series, and they even threw the TV series and stuff in here.
Oh yeah, that is technically canon.
So,
yeah,
which I forget what the date of the bomb drop is supposed to be.
2076, I think, or
was it 20?
Let me.
Or 40?
Yeah, because I forget because they so they put 2102 to basically 2105 essentially in there. It's Fallout 76. Then the original Fallout is 2161 to 2162. Fallout Tactics 2197 to 2198. Fallout 2 is 2241 to 2242. Fallout 3 is 2277 2278. Fallout New Vegas is 2281 to 82.
Okay.
Fallout 4 is 2287. The Fallout TV series season 1 is 22, 96, 97, and season 2 is 97.
Mm-hmm. So the only time we go further into the past in Fallout 4 is the prelude to why we are there.
2077. Oh,
Oh,
Cyberpunk. Oh, I got to go back and play that now. I am so happy CD Projekt actually kept to their word and kept working on it.
Yeah, from what I understand, like if it had released how it is now, at first, like it probably still wouldn't have been like Game of the Year, but I think people would have just said, well, it was a good game.
Yeah, rushing out the door is what killed them.
Though I still want to get, I really want to get an early was it PlayStation 4 that they never really updated too much of it, or there's it can get an early, like one of the early copies, and it's so bugged to hell, and I would like to get that just because it'd be funny to play around with.
The best option would be don't turn any patches on it, but
No, one of the physical copies never really got proper updates, and they couldn't give it proper updates.
I think it was PS4.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I
think what it is that they did update PS4. It was just that when they did the first major update that actually, like, where people started noticing that the game was actually improving, like was getting to a state that it was actually a game again. I think that was when they did that update. They basically said, "Screw it, we're just abandoning the prior gen at this point."
Yeah, they only focus on Xbox.
Because I know they did update for a while, but I think it was just once they. Pardon me. Once they, in fact, actually, wait. Did it come out for 5 and 4 at the same time, or did it come out for 5 later?
Yeah, it did.
Because I'm trying to think. Because
came out at the same time for them.
Yeah, because I know it was definitely just that at some point later down the line, they just decided, you know what, with this major update, with how much is going to have to go on to this, we've decided, screw it, the past gen was just being left behind. I think if I remember right, I think they did do something. I think they did do something for people who had that version.
Like, I think they could do a free upgrade to the PS5 one.
If they even had the next gen console.
Yeah, but it was mainly because I think they went ahead and did it because there really weren't that many copies actually sold for the PS4 version anyway, if I remember right. I think majority of the sales were PC. Yeah, majority of the sales for that game were PC version, if I remember right. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm glad I held up for the PC version.
Around that time, they also had Edge Runners in production. So.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
So people would, rightfully so, being like, if people get into this, we need to have a playable game.
I'm glad I held up for the PC version. She looks familiar.
Thing. Boop ba doop ba doo. Wait. Oh no.
Was that Twinkle Shine?
Yes.
Cole, as always, your art is lovely.
Thank you. I try.
But second, the reason I know so much about Fallout, aside from having an interest in it, I also am somewhat a lore master on the Ponies Online Fallout Equestria project. Not of Fallout Equestria itself, but just of the, okay, here's how the Fallout universe is. Take what you want from it. We aren't trying to pull in any other's work aside from what's accepted as, oh, that's that equivalent. Because, don't want to step on toes for someone's original design that's unique to them.
Well, I can appreciate and understand where you're going with being the lore master for Fallout Equestria. I'm not exactly sure, outside of just the general knowledge, why that would be tied into Fallout lore in general, unless there is a bit of a reason behind it. Because outside of the general scene, outside of the general theme of it, I thought they were basically two very separate universes for very obvious reasons.
A lot of the original story, outside of the government side, is very much just pulled from Fallout 3 at the time. Because I do believe at the time, Bethesda were trying to go after Fallout Equestria because it was too similar.
I don't think they were, no. In fact, no, I think they left it pretty much well enough alone. No, granted, I think it's because of Fiora that they also can't do anything about it anymore anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or I should realize they might have had plans on doing that at some point, but couldn't follow through.
Anyway, I just destroyed my brain, but I think I accomplished a new level of arting for my skilling.
Nice.
Oh, wait. Let's see.
What?
Oh, the time.
Oh. Technically
Forgot
not.
that was a thing.
Well, I mean, it's technically no C, but I don't know. I don't know. That one gets complicated real fast if you really think about it.
Many reasons, yes.
Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Save these real fast.
Mystery Brony Theater 5000.
Cole, which pony is this?
To Winkleshine.
Twinkles. Okay. Oh, right. That reminds me. While I was at Goodwill the other day, I found in the toys section a little 3-figure pack of older ponies.
Oh, hell yeah.
It had Gusty, Minty, and I'd have to go to the other room and grab it to remember who the third was, because it was like, okay, Gusty, who's Gusty the Great? Minty, the Great Christmas Pony. I don't know this third one.
Fine.
I think I will run to the other room and grab it. Oh.
Yeah, I've been having a blast with Fallout New Vegas on my old 360. I can't believe it still works after all these years, but it's been having some problems lately. Like it hard crashed 2 weeks ago, and it hard crashed today. The fan was on when it was on too long when I played it. So this could be the end of my 360.
Okay, I was confused. It's not Minty. It's Gusty, Firefly, and Bubbles.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, good.
The way you place the ponies there, it's just like, oh yay, I'm getting poured on by the flower bucket.
Yes.
Or watering can, there's the word.
I'm glad I'm not the only one this stream to forget the words for watering can. Also, that does bring us pretty close to the time. Circuit, what's going on in the main show?
Well, about a month back, we talked about a bunch of pony themed indie game. Basically, people like putting ponies into everything, and there's even Itch.io and Itch.io and okay. Why is my brain not wanting to work?
Itch.io and
GOG.
No, not GOG. Though GOG would be pretty
Oh.
sweet.
Newgrounds?
No. It's the other one that does a lot of games that you can actually download and play, and maybe pay the people once in a while. It's the other development platform, Game Jolt.
Game Jolt, oh yeah.
Oh, the one I haven't looked into that well.
Yeah, no, I've looked into it a little bit, but yeah, basically a lot of fans make a lot of pony games, and we're gonna take a look at one of them that I'm surprised it kind of fell by the wayside the way it did, because it was made by Yoshi Greenwater, who does the derpy the paper derpy stories.
How has that gone by the wayside? What?
And I have never heard of anybody talking about this. So we're gonna check out a G5 game called Sunny's Dream that was made by Yoshi Greenwater.
How am I now hearing this?
Exactly, but that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm trying to find these games, discover them, and tell people about them. Shouting it from the rooftops.
Is that a circuit call?
Yes, it is.
I could probably use a more mental thermal paste. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Oh, actually, this looks interesting.
Are those supposed to be wrinkles or eyelashes?
Those are supposed to be eyelashes. I wanted to give Circuit the slut eyelashes. Let's go.
What?
Yes.
No.
Circuit works hard for that money.
No. Stop it. I could barely brain anyway. Don't do that. Don't make me brain it.
Hey, second, he said the slut, not the bimbo. There is a difference.
You're not helping. That's still not helping.
You know what? No, he did slightly help. One's smart, one's not.
See, if I really want to push it full on, then I do the you know that meme there about the eyes where it's like normal set of eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Eyeshadow. Nah, doesn't really get it. That doesn't really make it work, but eh. Anyways, stay tuned for the main show. It's next.
It'll be a thing.